Marv assembly complete.
Hey, what's up guys, Massive here, coming back to do yet again another video commentary. I've been pumping out a lot of these videos lately, and the reason for that is that I've been having trouble getting games online to play first-person videos, but besides that, I'm really enjoying casting these games, to be honest. I'm finding them to be quite entertaining, and I hope that you guys are finding them just as entertaining as I am. Anyways, today's match is going to be on Tournament Tower. It is going to be on 1.02, not 1.01, but needless to say, you don't see many casts on Tournament Tower, so this is going to be one of them. Well, probably one of the only games that you're going to ever see on this map casted. So it's going to be between vOddy and Baizhao. So yeah, I'm not sure who the second guy is, but I'm going to presume that he was a good player. Anyway, on the left-hand side, we can see Baizhao playing as the Black Hand. And over to the right hand side, vOddy's going to be playing as the Cyan ZOCOM. And I think he mentioned in the forums that his preferred color was cyan. Quite a few people throughout history that like this color for some reason. Kimasabi and Maze come to mind. When it came to colors, a lot of players had preferences. But that power plant cell first is going to ensure that Baizhao gets this GDI logistics center, which doesn't grant much vision around it, by the way, even if you evac and put your Confessor Cabal or any scout back into that building, unlike some other structures where you get quite a bit more vision for doing that little trick. But quick eco build for Baizhao in this game, no inf all in. Well, I wouldn't expect an inf all in, to be honest, if this is... It's not a Hall of Fame game, but it's got a lot of wabs on game replay, so I'm going to presume that there's going to be no super aggressive, super lame Black Hand cheese. But it is vOddy, and I'm confident that he can probably hold that back with his skill level, with his micro. He is going to be at a disadvantage already because he's ZOCOM. And I'll say it again, ZOCOM harvesters in 1.02 had a bug where they collected Tiberium a little slower compared to now. He's going to take the long way around with his Pitbull, perhaps because he is afraid that there could be like a rocket squad here or something that could intercept that. Not sure what the meta game was like back in the day, but he's going to get this Pitbull in here. Actually, no, the Pitbull will get intercepted. Though we'll get some nice scouting information here. The two bikes have been forced to pull back as well because they're on low damage. Of course, they're one shot away from death if vOddy decides to go for another Pitbull, which he is. Knowing that the bikes are getting repairs, I'd probably just go for another Harvester. You are ZOCOM. Bike rushes are not particularly good versus ZOCOM because of those rockets on the Harvesters. You can just order the Harvester which your opponent's targeting with the bikes back, and the other Harvesters around it will be in range of killing those bikes, which the Harvesters, if you have like 3 or 4 of them, do quite a bit of damage to the bikes, because bikes are lightly armored units. Anyways, bikes moving into this Pitbull here. I don't think that Baizhao was expecting this, though he should have, because vOddy knew that there was 2 bikes on the field. 1 Pitbull for 2 bikes. vOddy's going to be quite pleased with that. He's also going to be expanding as well. Baizhao, however, he's not bothered to go for an expansion. What's his next move in this game? He's getting a Harvester out, I think, at the moment. Yep. He's decided to build an operations center. Perhaps he has some sort of flame tank build in mind. Tournament Tower, I'm not too familiar with builds on this map, to be honest. I knew that going for aggressive one base strategies was a good move on this map because it was so easily to punish the second Tiberium field, just because the rush distance was so minuscule. Anyway, the bike going to be coming in here. Not sure if it intends to aim down this Pitbull or if it just wants to scout off. But yeah, Baizhao, what's his next move in this game? He's going for a tier 3 by the look of things. And I heard you guys' criticism saying that I shouldn't move the mouse around so fast, which, I mean, I'll try not to do that. One thing that I noticed that Green Zero does is he puts his mouse sensitivity down to very low. But I've got it on this setting anyway because I'm used to it when I play games. I'll try to use the mini-map to navigate throughout the map. I won't do any jerky movements. With all that said, vOddy right now, he's quite a bit ahead. He has the Harvester on the expansion. He has the second War Factory. Baizhao, meanwhile, he decided to go for a quick tier 3. Wonder what his plan is here. Is he going for a chemical plant? 1 clicks and potentially even purifiers coming out as well for Baizhao. And he's going to be able to click this refinery here. vOddy, he hasn't allowed for enough space to spread his second refinery on the expansion here. So if he does go for a second ref here, he's going to probably lose both of them to the catalyst missile. But can Baizhao get a scout into the base just to scout that? vOddy, he has these predator tanks, but the problem with ZOCOM and 1.02 also is that they took, I mean, they got, one, they needed a lot of experience to rank up. Two, they needed the same experience as a mammoth tank. Well, they gave the same experience as a mammoth tank, so if your opponent killed one of them, their rocket squads would just usually rank straight to heroic because of that. Chemical plant done for Baizhao, the buggy coming in as well. This is going to allow for him to get a nice catalyst missile on both of these refineries. It's definitely going to be damaging for vOddy. He should have gone for a tier 2 before his 4th refinery, just so he could have split them out a bit better there. But yeah, the catalyst missile going to come down any moment here. And what's he got here to defend these predator tanks off? He's moving back with the Preds. They could easily get one clicked in the Tyrone field though if Baizhao is looking there. One click coming down. I don't think he's get 2 harvesters here. Remember, harvesters did die in one shot in 1.02. Unlike nowadays where they do survive, the GDI and Nod ones, Skrins were always immune. MCV on the move for Baizhao at the moment. He has gone for a Panic Fanatic squad. He's got one Purifier out as well. He does have more Tiberium, especially considering the fact that he can throw the C Tiberium down and you know, make that field last very long. I'm not sure why he's doing this with his MCV. He's exposed it there for a little bit, but he's not going to be able to hold this back unless vOddy goes in this Tiberium field here. But he's not stupid. He's sending his units around the side, or he's trying to mitigate this tip vein as much as he can. The problem with that though is he's going to be splitting his army up, and he's going to be able to kill those predator tanks with the purifiers. Baizhao right now, he's going to kill those, and I can expect a tip vein to come down any moment now. It's pretty much unavoidable on this map, and those predator tanks will be going down right there. Nice power plant block from the Black Hand player here, and all those predator tanks going down. That tip vein back in the day was just super powerful. The very things that wouldn't work now, tip vein and catalyst missile in this game, would have never been able to do that for Baizhao in this version of 1.02 plus, or the version that we have nowadays. Speaking of, there is a new version coming out, R14. We're finalizing that. One notable change is that we're putting the countermeasures on the support power structures tab, or whatever it's called, on the left hand side of the screen, as well as on the unit ability icon, which is like here. A little bit of harvester glitching for vOddy. He's going for AP ammo, or he probably should, though he's in no immediate threat of infantry. A eco established for Baizhao. He still has those 2 purifiers getting some repairs at home. And vOddy, his eco is pretty good. He's going to be safe and sound versus any more one clicks at the moment. He needs to go for tier 3. He needs to go for air. He can't continue on with these predator tank spam, or he will be granting so much experience to these units. And these purifiers, he's going to be glad to see those, because purifiers do require a lot of experience to rank up. So the predator tank bug with the XP probably not going to be as impactful as it would be if Baizhao decided to go infantry. Speaking of infantry, it would make perfect sense here, considering how vOddy has not invested himself into AP ammo. Usually that is something that every ZOCOM and GDI player for that matter goes for. Orchestrate coming down here, which will one-shot that Spectre. Something else you should know is that Zork has also one-shot kill Spectres with all their sonic missiles, or whatever they're called. But Spectre's a unit that you rarely see, to be honest. You don't see this kind of gameplay often, but it's going to be Black Hand camping in this game. How's vOddy going to deal with this? He can probably go for Firehawks, try to. He's shelling the Tiberium here, which is a really good idea. That's something that a lot of players wouldn't think of, but one more shot on those will go down. Firehawks out on the field for vOddy. I thought for a moment, yeah, he would probably kill those Tiberium crystals, but I guess he's changed his mind. Maybe they were just trying to kill harvesters. vOddy has 3 Firehawks right now. Not enough to one-shot kill a refinery, though. It's not going to work anyways unless Baizhao sold his tier 2 so he couldn't fence those buildings. But the Firehawk's coming in here right now, and if he aims between both, he will get both the Spectres. That's one. Also, one other thing to mention is that 4 Firehawks can kill those Spectres as well, and not only that, but you can Stratofighter out immediately afterwards if there's a lot of anti-air. With the ceramic armor and Stratofighter, you shouldn't be losing your Hawks at all. I expect vOddy to be getting those upgrades any moment. Harvester going back to base here. He's Baizhao going for his Redeemer. I'd probably be getting tier or tib core at the moment. I'm not sure why he's not doing that. He's up against ZOCOM. He's up against Firehawks. He needs to go for a tib core. He can't allow himself to get endlessly bombed by these all game, or it's going to be a problem for him. But he does have the fence. I fully expect him though to be fencing this tech lab, but he fenced the wrong building. But I don't think vOddy is picking up on this though. He's going to aim at the Redeemer Engineering Facility. I'm not sure why Baizhao decided to use his sonic repulsion field, or in his case the laser fence, on that chemical plant. I mean, that was going to die anyway to like 2 Firehawks even when fenced, so I reckon he should have just saved that and waited for his opponent to commit to shooting down one of his buildings, and then he could use it then. But yeah, vOddy right now, he has 8 Firehawks, which is a good means to detrench a Nod player's base. Fortunately for him though, he's not going to be up against stealth tanks. Quad turrets, interestingly enough, is upgraded for Baizhao. An upgrade that notoriously desyncs the game, but hopefully we don't see any of that in this game. Quad turrets getting taken out though. vOddy going to retreat back to base with those Firehawks and tib core as well. So this is going to be a nightmare really to deal with. By the way, we have removed quad turrets from the game in R14 1.02 plus because we had no real solution to fix the bug. I know you probably won't like that, removing features from the game, but honestly this kind of broke in the balance as well, because it's a turret that you could never get focused down. You can focus these turrets down, which does reduce the effectiveness of the anti-air defense, but yeah, this one really changed the balance for ZOCOM hammerheads, because you know they can't target this down. Redeemer facility going to get destroyed once again, but it looks like no, it was fenced, and or maybe it was fenced, but the last rocket for some reason didn't go off. And that quad turret actually being able to pick off those Firehawks there will be 33% more effective here. You probably would want to get a few more of those out. He's littered his base with these SAM turrets all over the place. The Marv is unescorted here, so unless vOddy has like a bunch of hammerheads to have a fast response to those radar buggies, then he could potentially get EMP'd and locked down. He has nothing really to safeguard his Marv versus a quick EMP switch here. It looks like Baizhao hasn't even bothered getting the upgrade for his radar buggies yet. And that Marv has pretty incredible range of it shooting from all the way down there. Yeah, freaking hell. They're finally going to get taken out. And was that a Firehawk there? Did they kill something? Likely not. vOddy allowing his Tiberium fields to regrow at the moment. That's a nice move from him. He's going to find a gap in the bottom of the base here. Baizhao going to be scrambling here. He's not sure what he's doing. He can't really sit here forever. He is contending with 7 Firehawks, so he will be having difficulty with that, considering how he has no Mantis or Bike Buggy really. Bike Buggy win this game would be pretty good with EMP cores and those tip core rockets. But the Marv coming in here, and that's going to get taken out. Yeah, it's taking reverse rear armor as well, and I don't know, I mean, I reckon that is bad for vOddy here. He has to really confront those units though head on. He has no choice because he doesn't have artillery, so it's understandable losing a Marv here and there. It's something that you really have to accept as ZOCOM, unless you lane Firehawks all game, which vOddy's trying to do. He's moving in with the Firehawks once again. And eco situation for either side is actually pretty decent. vOddy still has 3 harvesters idle. If he hadn't have done that, of course he would have been dry out of tip this whole time. 2 more turrets get taken out. I'm not sure why he's taking out turrets. He should probably take out the more vital structures here, like for example the refinery. Deny that eco for Baizhao, and Baizhao deciding to still keep his chemical plant. I'm not sure why vOddy's not poking around here trying to destroy some of these upgraded power plants and the chemical plant. How's vOddy going to hold this back more to the point? He's got 6 Firehawks. He can split his fire with those Firehawks, bomb the infantry. Firehawks do grenade type damage, which is pretty good versus infantry actually. Harvester's going to retreat. and he has nothing really to hold this back unless he can get his Marv out quickly. Predator tank's in pursuit of these purifiers, but it's kind of futile, to be honest. Doesn't have enough damage there, and assuming Baizhao has his audio on, he should know the Marv is out and he needs to retreat at the moment. Yet those units going back for some repairs, I imagine. vOddy trying to get this harvester to work, but yeah, it's a bit too dangerous right now. vOddy, he has these Firehawks still. I think he left them idle that whole time. He really needs to be utilizing them this whole time. He needs to pick up on the fact that there is upgraded power plants and a exposed TIB chemical plant in the top left hand side of the base. He's going to come around here though, and 6 Firehawks he still has. He can bomb. He's going to fly over TIB core bikes here though. I mean, I reckon he could have just gone into that base and killed the war factory. I reckon if you even bombed between both of those structures, you would get both of them. But yeah, TIB core, very powerful. For some reason, vOddy is moving out again with his Marv. He doesn't have anything to support it though, however. Harvesters over here, looks like vOddy forgot about them. He needs them to get back to work. And he only has 1 refinery at the moment. He's going infantry as well, but versus Blackhand, that's kind of an issue because he really is going to be losing those infantry to the particle beam turrets, especially considering how Baizhao has that quad turret upgrade. They're going to be kind of near useless. Infantry, mostly Black Disciples now. Not going to be very useful anymore at dealing with the Marv. He could probably go down here with some of those troopers, you know, and kill vOddy's spike, which, you know, there's one there. Alternatively, vOddy could also send an APC engineer around the side, maybe take Baizhao spike. Looks like these units here are going to be intercepted, and vOddy going to be onto those right now. He's going to run straight into these bikes, and Firehawk there just nearly escaping death. Managing to retain 5 Firehawks. As long as he has the 4 out in the field, he's going to be doing fine. And will this Firehawk live? Yeah, it will, because bikes have limited range. We proposed a solution to that, because hammerheads tend to destroy bikes relatively easy because of their kiting potential the hammerheads have. So we made hammerhead acceleration a little slower, actually the same as 1.02. But yeah, on to this game. Purifier still out in the field. One of them is obviously promoted to veteran rank because it killed that Marv earlier, I do recall. Firehawks coming in once again, going to bomb these obelisks, which of course are a pain in the ass to deal with. He's going to sell it though for that $950, and look at it this way: if vOddy is cost effective here, he's going to have the ability to rebuild his army because he is regrowing his Tiberian field. Remember, those 3 harvesters earlier were idle that whole time, so he was able to regrow that field. And Baizhao here, he needs to make a stand with 3 purifiers. Does he have a war factory? Yes, he does. He's got Bike Buggy down here. They're confronting some Predator tanks. They're going to get ranked up. As I mentioned, the Predator tanks just had an insane bug. For every unit that goes down, those Bike Buggies ranked up. He needs to go for EMP calls. He needs to EMP this Marv. It would also handle the sniper teams as well if he made buggies. I wouldn't engage this if I were you. That's a terrible idea, actually. Unless you move your MCV forward for shredder turrets so you can place on the front line, which you desperately need. But I think his build radius is kind of limited to like here. Nevertheless, the 3 purifiers are trying to kill this Marv right now, but the Marv has double engineer in it. It's going to be effective at reverse moving out of this. He's moving in with the purifiers. He's going to lose 1 right now, and he doesn't have enough DPS to really kill that Marv. And looks like the husk also got destroyed. vOddy right now, does he still have his MCV? Yes, he does. He's got his harvesters on idle. He hasn't got a war factory, so he probably would want to build one of those again so he can get some repairs on the Marv. Not only on the Marv, but on these harvesters. You may not want to use the harvesters for crushing. I mean, for killing or harvesting TIB, but he could use them for crushing the enemy infantry at the layer point, or just for meat shield. So it's worth getting a war factory out just to repair them for that reason. Beam cannons coming out right now for Baizhao. He's only got 1, however, and yeah, that war factory is definitely going down. But yeah, vOddy, he has 2 engineers in the Marv, so it will slowly get healed up. But again, he needs to go for that war factory, or maybe even a refinery on this field. But because the eco on this map is so limited right now, maybe it's not worth that extra $3 grand to get a refinery out, just for some small amount of tip. vOddy right now could probably even transition into hammerheads, considering how he has the map control right now. And Buggy's coming in here for a poke. See, they're going to see the airfield, but he's going to kill these sniper teams. That's unfortunate for vOddy, getting a few of those caught off guard. And the Marv right now, he could probably make a move into the base. Looks like vOddy has forgotten about his Firehawks. They're taking a lot of damage right now. That could be crippling. He's going to lose one. He's lucky to lose only one there, but yeah, vOddy right now, he needs to organize himself a little bit better. And Baizhao, to be honest. EMP grenades also researched for vOddy. Neither side have really destroyed their opponent's spike in this game, so yeah, as I said a lot earlier, one of them could have captured these spikes easily at any point in the game, and that could have swayed things a bit more in either side's favor. 4 harvesters on this empty field. This is what's going to hurt Baizhao here, is that vOddy hasn't done the crucial mistake of not letting his harvesters or his tib regrow, whereas Baizhao here, he's got one field which is somewhat regrowing in tib. Looks like he sold his chemical plant, so he's not going to be able to call in that C-Tiberium once again unless he decides to rebuild the chemical plant. He needs to go for bike buggy strictly, I reckon, in this game, or maybe even just move his MCV along with the bike buggy so he can place down Schroeder turrets, which is, by the way, extremely effective with those quad turrets against pretty much anything ZOCOM can build. Firehawks, hammerheads, infantry, they're all going to get taken out by those quad turret defenses. And nice job there selling off the buildings before they die. He will get some much needed cash, and in this kind of situation where both sides are somewhat limited in resources, that extra $500 he was able to get there could make a bit of difference. He's going to put a Blackhand squad on this Redeemer. Maybe would have been a good idea to put double engineer in it, but considering how much infantry that vOddy has, I completely understand his logic. By the way, vOddy sending his infantry around the side here, not sure what he's hoping to accomplish. Does Baizhao have any vision down there? I don't think he does. Firehawk's flying over this though. He will get a nice scout off in advance. vOddy right now, he's got 1 veterancy rank on that Firehawk. That's gone to veteran. vOddy, he hasn't really rebuilt any of his infrastructure. Or actually he has. He's got a space command uplink right now. He's got a couple harvesters on really low HP. Puzzles my mind how he hasn't gone for that war factory for a repair, or at least gone for a rig as well, because like I said like 3 or 4 VODs ago, rigs do repair at a faster rate compared to war factories when it comes to epic units. And gonna get a nice EMP off here. Actually no, vOddy not microing at all. He still has 1 EMP though, but that's not long enough really to kill this Redeemer. And wow, this is going to be a lot of dead infantry here. vOddy does have the shockwave artillery if he chooses to kill all this infantry or just lock down this Redeemer, but wow, that was completely wasted. I'm not sure why vOddy went in there with his infantry. He should have just accompanied his Marv and went down the guts, I reckon, but understandable how he couldn't have because of these defenses here. vOddy's trying so hard to destroy them, and it's just even more unfair for vOddy because this player is going for quad turret defenses, and usually you don't see those. You're not confronted with this situation very often because obviously this desyncs the game in 99% of the cases. But what's vOddy's next move? He has 4 Firehawks. He just needs to continually milk those. He's going through zone heads as well. He's managed to get a couple out on the field. I mean, a successful raid around this corner here, taking out the power, then subsequently the operation center could seal this game for vOddy. There is quite a number of power plants though out on the map to destroy though. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard for him nevertheless. Redeemer here is going to find the zone heads, and there's no real anti-air here to be honest for Baizhao, so he's going to be forced to make a retreat with the Redeemer, if it can even retreat. I guess he can send it over to this area here where there is some coverage from the SAM turrets, but yeah, the Marv right now is not deciding to make a move in just yet for beam cannons here, maybe to charge this Obelisk of Light. Interestingly, the beam cannons, when they charge obelisks, do get a slight range buff as well as a rate of fire buff. Stacks up to 4 beam cannons if you didn't know, so if you put like 5 or 6 beam cannons to the obelisk, then of course it won't do any more than 4. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. It's up to 40% more rate of fire. Power plant's getting taken out here, but vOddy has revealed his ace. He is his opponent knows that there's hammerheads on the way, so he shouldn't really get surprised anymore by those. He's got double refinery here, probably could sell one, to be honest, though I guess he is fearful of the hammerheads, or rather the firehawks, which are going to really be a nuisance. But nice micro here from vOddy. Looks like he was able to kill that mantis without losing a hammerhead. Going to get that one back to base. These are very valuable units with the zone raiders inside of them. And he can also purchase the scanner pack upgrade, which I'm not sure if he has. I guess he has because of that range. Looks quite substantial. But yeah, one missed micro here, and obviously he's going to be paying dearly with those hammerheads. Has he got the upgrade for his hammerheads? I think he has. Yeah, he has. That's the scanner packs upgrade right there. So that's going to grant his hammerheads a slight range and sight bonus. He hasn't got AP ammo though, which is kind of weird to me. I guess he's quite content on relying on those unupgraded, the sniper teams, which I forgot that he lost obviously earlier in the engagement. But imagine if vOddy had just kept those around, he would have been able to push this base, I reckon. He has his MCB still. He needs to go for, I don't know right now, I mean, more firehawks perhaps. Perhaps even a super weapon, an iron cannon in this game wouldn't be a bad choice. Force the knob player to you. But yeah, Massey and P-Buggy coming out here, and this is a really long game. This game seems like it's been going on for an eternity, but the Blackhand player here, he's not deciding to make a move with his MCV. It would be a great choice, to be honest. Can this Redeemer escape rage? Sometimes it can, but not this time. Wasn't really a nicely timed EMP, to be honest, for vOddy. But with the EMP from this Grenadier squad, he might be able to lock this down in place for a little longer. Can these purifiers aim these down? He actually gets all the purifiers as well. Oh my god, that's bad. Oh my god, this is such an engagement. How did he manage that? Both the purifiers out of action right now. Those flamethrowers are absolutely useless. And this is the engagement that vOddy needed. It was, wow, that Redeemer goes straight down. Wasn't expecting that at all. And I'll take that trade any day of the week. One Redeemer for pretty much one Grenadier squad and the Shockwave. Imagine though if that Shockwave had missed, it would have been a completely different story there. So yeah, obviously a bit of luck involved, but nice EMP from the Grenadier squad, locking down those purifiers as well. He still has 2 of them. You have to give it to this Baizhao guy. I think that's his name. Is it his name? Or have I been saying it wrong this whole time? No, it's actually Baizhao, yeah. He's kept these purifiers alive. Interesting game because you're seeing a lot of things that you wouldn't normally see in this game here. Probably because the map is just so different in the way it plays out. And not only that, but this map usually games end in 5 minutes because most players go for 2 ore factories to punish the opponent's 3 refs. If they decide to go 3 refs, it's hard to counter 2 ore factories. Raider Bucky's getting torn to shreds here by those hammerheads. No bikes, which are really needed to deal with this ceramic armor here. And I think that Baizhao's just a bit too wasteful now. He's going to be up against a super weapon at the moment. So vOddy just has to wait out 7 minutes and he can punch a massive hole into Baizhao's mass infrastructure here. He's got all of his power plants. Not deciding to upgrade them, which is a smart move because obviously that presents vulnerabilities that vOddy can abuse with his firehawks. And Zone Raiders coming out here. Oh god, that was such a badly timed one. We want to escape here, otherwise it will get raged, and then he's going to lose those units, the very expensive units. And yeah, I felt that was a bit wasteful. He's going to teleport over here, but yeah, I reckon he should have just gone back earlier. But he still has the firehawks. Looks like some of the anti-air has been sold off in the corner. He could probably quickly snipe that tier 2, seeing how there's no anti-air here, and then go to town on this base. He's not doing that. He just needs to kill that tier 2 man, and he's got this. And that's going to be GG. Okay, so I guess that Baizhao's just going to throw in the towel. And wow, I thought that he had a chance in the end, but I guess he felt that he just didn't know what to do. But he obviously needed more bikes in that game. Wow, that was such an abrupt ending. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah, it would have been GG anyways if he had targeted that tier 2, and vOddy would have been, you know, destroying that entire base. He had a Marv as well, and infantry. Super weapon cooldown was obviously going to win the game for vOddy. But yeah, interesting game. Nice engagement in the middle of the map with the Redeemer and Purifiers. Nice move from vOddy taking that out there, and then he got a bit wasteful sending those infantry unescorted to Baizhao's base. I reckon that was a huge mistake. He could have actually killed that Redeemer there, surprisingly, because he had 4 Grenadier squads, but for some reason he didn't micro there, and yeah, losing all that infantry is painful, especially as ZOCOM, where it was hard then to really win at all because of the amount of bugs that were in the game. But vOddy was behind, and he done a very surgical playstyle in that game. He had a bit of patience. You'd have to have a lot of patience, to be honest, to play ZOCOM and abuse those Firehawks, but he had no choice there. And I hope you guys enjoyed that game. That was something different, and interesting early game build also from Baizhao, going for the quick chemical plant, though you see Bike Rush do that nowadays anyways. It's not out of the norm, but it was better then, obviously, because the Tib Vane and Catalyst were just overpowered as hell. That's why we nerfed it. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this VOD. This is Master Leaf. Stay tuned because I've got more VODs coming. Peace out.